I'm the Harupa Valley, California chapter leader for Days for Girls International. And what we do is we make reusable sanitary napkins for young girls in other countries that are unable to attend school because of the lack of sanitary supplies or affordable sanitary supplies. I've been doing it for about 2 years now, and it's been quite, in fact, 2 years in April. And it's such an exciting program. We've just completed 2000. We just did 200 again today, so we're at 2,250 hits that we've made in the last 2 years. 1,000 of them went to Zimbabwe, and we had 350 go to Mexico, and then this group of them is going to the women in prison. This one's a different one. It's not for girls, it's for women in prison in Mexico. And then we did, at Christmas time, we did the homeless women here in California. And we sent, I think it was 250 to Kenya. And we've sent some to the Philippines. And there's all the places. Anyway, I have on a regular basis, about once a week, about 30 volunteers, and they come in shifts because of COVID. We just open the house all day so that we can keep the COVID rules in California, which are quite stringent. They're young people, and it's loud, it's fun. By the end of the day, I'm exhausted. But today we did the packing party. And the packing party is one of my favorite things, because then all the stuff that they've sewn, I mean, the kit includes 2 things called a shield, and I can post pictures of them in the chat, in the WhatsApp. I'll post a couple of pictures of what we make. But it's a shield that it's made of cotton, and inside the cotton is a waterproof fabric, and that waterproof fabric prevents them from leaking. And then we make liners, which are made of flannel, so they're quite comfortable. And we give them 8 of those. They get a bar of soap, a washcloth, and they get 2 of those shields. And then they get a card that explains how to keep track of their period and how to use the product. And then we give them, probably the most important thing we give them is underwear. Most of these girls don't have underwear, and it causes, especially in some parts of Africa, I have heard, I haven't had the opportunity to go yet, but that they get raped in school, or get raped because they have no underwear. And so I haven't got to go yet. We were planning on going to Zimbabwe, and COVID postponed that. But when we do go, one of the things I'm very excited about is we were able to collect 3 overlock machines and 2 sewing machines to take, and supplies, cutting supplies and whatnot. And we're going to go there and teach them how to make them themselves, and try and help them to be able to sustain being able to make them for other women there. So it's a really fun project. It's a lot of work. But in my life, I've done many sewing projects like this for humanitarian work. Thousands of infant kits that we've sent to the Dominican Republic and other places, and quilts. To date, I've totally lost count of how many quilts I've made, because me and my friends would just sit around for years my pool table and sew and make quilts and laugh. And it's one thing about doing a service like that is the opportunity to laugh. We can make fun of the way we do things, because we make mistakes and sew weird things together, and a lot of us do spend a lot of time laughing. And when you're in the service of others, I truly believe when you're in the service of others, you're in the service of your God. And so I really am excited that we got to do that again today. And we had a barbecue afterwards for all the volunteers. And I'm just able to get on the call now from that. And I wanted to share that fun thing with you. And that's my story for today.
Wow, Geri, I so appreciating you jumping on. I am enamored by you being involved in such a really needed project, and just actually bringing the awareness about, in terms of what's actually needed out there and how you're actually doing it in such a fun way. And I know over in the US, the COVID is still out of control, but yet you're still finding that, as you say, by being of service of some way, makes you still feel connected, makes you still feel it gives you that connection to spirit, to God, but that you're actually contributing to the world still in meaningful ways, and that you're having fun doing it.
I am. And to date, we were trying to figure out today how many young men I have taught to sew. Young between 19 and 25. I have to date helped 47 young men learn how to sew. And that's not to mention the young women. But it's unusual to have men that would be willing to do a project like this. And they just love coming. They've been done in lockout for so long, and it gets them out. And we have to wear masks, and we had our lunch outside, but it's so much fun. When I went to Days for Girls, we had a convention before COVID happened, and the lady who started Days for Girls is just a phenomenal woman. It's my dream someday to get her to come on here and speak to you, because she's the one that started this phenomenon. And we're in 141 countries. As of a year and a half ago, we had already, the whole organization had made 141,000 kits.
Wow.
I'm sorry. 141 million kits.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's
no way.
They've been doing it a lot longer than I have. We did, as an organization last year, just in 1 year, we did 1 million kits. Or was it 2 million? I have to ask. I have to get the correct number on that. But it was over in the millions that we did. All the organizations. There's many. I forgot how many chapters there are, but they're all over the world, the chapters. So
yeah.
And one of the things in when we go to the other countries, a lot of groups that go teach and set up enterprises, and it's an actual factory that the women can go to work in, and they earn, the statistics that I heard was they earn like $28 a day, which is enough money to send their children to school and do things that we take for granted in the United States. I can't even imagine not being able to send my children to school, or to buy them clothes to wear to school, or to have the books, or, we're so blessed here, and we're all children of God, this whole world. We all should have the same benefit in my eyes. And so it's just a little tiny thing that we get to do. I wish I was wealthy enough to just set up enterprises all over in all those countries, so they can all earn that extra money for their families, because they require so little compared to what we require, and they ask for so little. I mean, they're asking for the opportunity to go to school. Of course they should get to go to school. But one of the things they had at that convention, they had the flower arrangement in the center of the table. I kept looking at it going, and I was one of the few people that noticed it. It was a very strange, it was in a jar, and it had a stick, a piece of newspaper, it had leaves, it had old pieces of cotton, it had, and then at the end they said, these are the items that women in those countries use because they don't have pads. And I thought,
Oh,
that would
wow.
be an awful thing to have to use. And so, and so I just was excited to get to do that.